Pitching for Karns, number 19, Thomas Butler. The catcher, number 11, Isaiah Smith.
Hello again, everybody. David Clary along with TJ Hibben as we get ready for Oak Ridge High School baseball live here from Karns High School. For you just tuning us in, we are not quite on the internet yet, but we will be on our YouTube channel, Prep Radio. We are recording this, obviously, for broadcast later. Let me run down the starting lineups. First off, for the visiting Wildcats, leading things off and playing shortstop will be Caden Black. Mikey Teasley will be batting second. He is the designated hitter. He'll be hitting for the center fielder, Warren East, tonight. Batting third for the Wildcats will be the first baseman, Peyton Witter. Batting fourth will be the catcher, Parker Free. Batting fifth will be the pitcher, Cam Welch. Batting sixth will be Kai Welch. He'll be playing third base today. Richie Ferreira will be playing right field for the Wildcats. He'll be hitting number 7. Number 8, or the eighth hitter is the left fielder, Cy Stevens, and the ninth hitter is the second baseman, Noah Wood. For the Karns Beavers, Ben Stiles will lead things off and play left field. Connor Clark will play shortstop. He will bat second. The pitcher and batting third will be Thomas Butler. The number 4 hitter in their lineup is Clayton Kelly. He's the designated hitter. He'll be hitting for the first baseman, Bryce Egan. Batting fifth will be the center fielder, Brody Miles. Batting sixth will be C.J. Burnett. He'll be playing right field. Isaac Schmidt will be the catcher and batting seventh. The eighth hitter in the lineup is the third baseman, Luke Barnes. He'll be playing third. Owen Burnett batting ninth, and he's playing second base. Caden Black is about to lead things off, and we're about to have baseball for you here from Karns. First pitch of the ball game is a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strike. So we are underway here at Karns High School. I'm going to be trying to do double duty best I can until my help arrives, as that pitch is a little bit low. 2 balls and no strikes the count. Wildcats knocked off the Beavers last night at Bobby Hopkins Field, 8-3. Here's the pitch to Black. That's a little bit low. Oh, a small strike zone to start the ball game. 3 balls, no strikes the count. Caden's a left-handed hitting senior. Stands in, 3 balls, no strikes. The pitch to the plate. That's down low, and that's at ball 4. So a good start for the Wildcats as Black reaches base safely on a base on balls. And the batter now will be the designated hitter, Mikey Teasley. Mikey will be hitting for Warren East, the center fielder. Mikey is a right-handed hitter. And now a little discussion just to begin the ball game immediately. The coach of the Karns Beavers out to talk to his pitcher. Just underway here at Karns High School, second district game. Feels a little warmer than it did yesterday, I guess when the sun goes down. It was so breezy last night, you probably can hear the wind whipping around a little bit here at Karns. But it was chilly last night for sure at Bobby Hopkins Field. 4 straight pitches. Caden Black is the base runner at first. I would expect him to go pretty early. As anybody who's familiar with Oak Ridge baseball, familiar with Coach Free, he likes to get them going early in the count, especially with Caden. And he'll take his lead off of first. In a minute, the batter, Mikey Teasley, will step back in. We have a little technical issue with our YouTube right now, but I am recording it currently for broadcast in its entirety as Mikey steps in once again. He is a sophomore hitting from the right side. Had a 2 RBI hit yesterday in the win over Karns. Big lead taken at first by Caden Black. The pitch to the plate is down low ball, and Caden's going to nope, he's not going to run. He went about halfway and returned back to the bag, and it'll be still 1 ball and no strikes. 5 straight pitches, 5 straight out of the strike zone. Mikey back in, right-handed hitting sophomore. Black takes his lead off of first, not going. There's a called strike, bounces away a little bit. But as I mentioned the other day when we were at Gibbs, not a whole lot of foul territory here. Not a lot of foul territory at Gibbs, but much less here at Karns. Caden takes his lead off of first once again. Teasley stands in with a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Runner going, it hit him And down the second will go Caden. So far, a little bit out of the strike zone here. The Wildcats have a good start to their first inning with runners at first and second and nobody out. Batter now will be the Wildcats first baseman, Peyton Witter. Peyton got a save last night in the win at Bobby Hopkins Field. He stands in. In a minute, we'll have a little bit more action on the camera. I apologize for that. Once again, Witter stands in. Caden Black takes his lead off of second. Big lead at first for Teasley, and the pitch is, I guess, inside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Already some activity down in the bullpen for the Karns Beavers. The strike zone pretty narrow to start for Butler. He's hit a guy. He's walked another. Witter stands in for the Wildcats. From the stretch, checks the runner, comes to the plate. Down low a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Now Caden's going to go to third. The Wildcats kind of steal without really paying attention. And actually Teasley was almost picked off there. But the pitcher was quite unaware that Teasley was halfway off the bag. And he returns to the bag safely. Once again, Witter stands in. Big lead once again for Teasley. Runners on the corners, the pitch. Way up high. And the count is now 3 balls and no strikes. Witter will be followed in the Oak Ridge lineup by the catcher Parker Free. Peyton comes in. Way ahead in the count, 3 balls, no strikes. Runners on the corners. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. Nope, it's a throw over to first, and easily back to the bag will go Mikey Teasley. Peyton back in. Junior. Butler steps off the rubber and chases the runner back to the bag. Wildcats are next in action on Thursday. They'll be traveling to Bearden to take on the Bulldogs. Then on Friday, the Wildcats will be back at home against the Maryville Rebels. Big lead by Mikey at first. Witter, 3 balls, no strike. The pitch to him is inside, ball 4. So Wildcats have loaded the bases with nobody out, and the batter now will be the catcher, the freshman Parker Free. Bases full of Wildcats. Parker stands in, hitting in the number 4 position. We've had several number 4 hitters in the lineup this year. I think this is the first time that Parker has been in that position. Bases loaded, the infield is in, pitch is up high. Just can't find the strike zone. Bases full of Wildcats here. Now the bullpen getting in action in earnest down to the right side. Kind of a new setup for the bullpen down on the right side. They've changed sides of the dugouts here as the pitch comes in. Ripped, and that is a fair ball inside the bag. 1 run will scored. In the score will come the Wildcats, and Parker Free will have a double, and 2 runs scores, and the Wildcats take the lead 2-0. Hard hit ball. First hit of the ball game, the Wildcats take a 2-0 lead. Caden Black and Mikey Teasley come in to score, and the Wildcats lead it by a score of 2-0. All the way to third goes Peyton Witter. 2 RBIs for Parker. Batter now will be Cameron Welch. He'll stand in for the Wildcats. Cam hitting in the number 5 spot for the Wildcats. He'll be pitching today for the Wildcats. Already spotted to a 2-0 lead, and the Wildcats are still batting with runners at second and third, and still nobody out. 2 runs in. Cam waits for the right-hander to come to the plate. Pitch, hit on the ground, couple hops. Pitcher's trying to cover, and he does just in time to retire Welch for the out. But in the score will come Peyton Witter, and the Wildcats have a 3-0 lead. So give an RBI to Cam, but he is out. First base to pitcher, and that is the first out of the inning. Moving over to third is the Oak Ridge runner. I believe that is probably Izzy Mitchell at third base. And the batter now will be Kai Welch. Kai stands in. Right-handed hitter. Butler has given up 3 runs here in the first. He's got another runner at third. Pitch to the plate is bounced up there, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. As I mentioned, the Wildcats will be at Bearden on Thursday. Maryville at home on Friday. That'll be at Bobby Hopkins Field. And Saturday, the makeup game will be at Clinton. Pitch, hit on the ground, third base side. They're going to get another run in, and in the score will come Izzy Mitchell. Kyron picks up an RBI, and he is out, though, 5-3. But the Wildcats played Izzy, and the Wildcats have a 4-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. And the batter now will be the right fielder, Richie Ferreira. Richie had a big hit yesterday in the win over Karns. Good start for the Wildcats here. 4 runs in the top of the first inning. Butler, it's control problems were his main issue. He walked the first guy, hit the second guy, then walked again. Then the Wildcats got a big hit out of their catcher, the freshman Parker Free. Pitch to Richie is high and outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. We're live here at Karns. We'll even be more live here in a bit when the rest of the crew arrives here at Karns High School. Pitch to the plate is outside once again. 2 balls and no strikes. 4 runs in for the Wildcats here in the first inning. Ferreira, pitch to the plate, is in there for a called strike, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Live here at Karns High School. Tomorrow we'll have our Covering the Bases show once again on channel 1086, I believe it is now, as that pitch is high and tight, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Coach Free will be with us, and we'll be joined as well by a couple players. He hasn't really named who he will be bringing, but we will have some players tomorrow, and there is ball 4. So the inning continues for the Wildcats. Another walk. That is the 3rd walk of the inning for Butler. And now the catcher is going to go out and have words with his pitcher. Wildcats have played at 4 here in the first and lead at 4-0. Short conversation between the Wildcats. Next batter, Cy Stevens. He is playing left field today. Coach Free had words with him. Runner will take his lead off at first. That's Richie Ferreira, the junior. He'll be playing right field today for the Wildcats. 4 runs in. Working from the stretch. Good lead for Richie. Pitch to the plate is ripped in the hole. That's a base hit. Cy Stevens has a base hit, rounding second and coming towards third. It's going to be a bang-bang play, and he is out. He is out at third base, but Cy Stevens picks up a base hit, and the Wildcats have a runner thrown out of third. But a very productive top of the first inning for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge plates 4 runs. Big hit. The Parker Free bases loaded double. We go to the bottom half of the first inning here at Karns High School. The Wildcats lead at 4-0, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back once again to Karns High School. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. The Wildcats on top, 4-0. Camden Welch is the pitcher for the Wildcats, and his first pitch is a little bit high and outside, and the count is 1 ball, no strikes. Good first inning for the Wildcats. They take the lead, 4-0. Cheeto comes to the plate with a 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm about to have my help here, and I appreciate that greatly. We'll get TJ to roll in. First off, TJ, do that. I just figured it was probably best for me to just call it on tape, if you can set up the stream there. We had a good first inning while you were gone, though, TJ. 4-0. Wildcats put 4 on the board here. Pitch is hit foul, and out of play over to the right side. No, the whole thing. I haven't set up anything. Took me forever. We're about to be. Right-handed hitter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 4-0. Wildcats in the lead. First inning. Cheeto pitch to the plate, cut on a miss, and that is a swinging strikeout. And Ben Stiles is the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. Batter now will be the shortstop, Connor Clark. Played them last night. The Wildcats won at Bobby Hopkins 8-3 over the Beavers to win their first district ball game. TJ, did you have a rough day?
Yeah.
Pitches a ball, 1 ball, no strikes to count. I'm recording it. That's why I'm still talking, if you're wondering. 1 ball, no strikes. I'll set the offense or defense for you in a moment for the Wildcats. That pitch is up high. 2 balls and no strikes. Looks like Peyton Witter is the first baseman. Noah Wood is playing second base for the Wildcats. Caden Black is the shortstop. The third baseman is Kai Welch. The left fielder is Cy Stevens. The center fielder, Warren East, as that pitch is hit in the air. Right side, the right fielder coming in. That is the Wildcats' Richie Ferreira, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Good start for the Wildcats. They have retired the first 2 batters Cheeto has in the first inning. Batter now will be the pitcher, Thomas Butler. Butler stands in, right-handed hitter. I was talking to his dad before the ball game. Interesting guy. Was going to go to Powell, but decided he wanted to go to Karns because that's where his family was, and I don't blame him for that. As the pitch comes in, cut on a missed. Count is no balls and 1 strike. TJ, it's hard to see, isn't it, with the sun bearing down on it? Wait till you look through the camera lens. Man, I hope you have a coat, too.
I'll be all right.
Oh, boy, he's going to freeze. We might have a run rule the way this game has started, though. As the pitch comes in, that's evidently just a little bit low, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. We will be live on our Prep Radio channel on YouTube here in a bit. Apologize for that. I blame myself on that. Here's the pitch. Cut on a missed. That's another strike. And Camden Welch is ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody aboard here for the Beavers here in the first inning. 4-0 our score. The Wildcats in the lead. From the stretch, the pitch to the plate. On the inside corner, called strike 3. 3 up and 3 down for the Beavers here in the first. We go to the second inning. The Wildcats on top, 4-0. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Karns High School here. The top half of the second inning just underway. Noah Wood, the second baseman, leads things off for the Wildcats, who put 4 on the board in the first inning. Noah's got an even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Good inning of work for Cam Welch. He strikes out 2, strikes out the side to start the ball game. Butler comes to the plate. The pitch hit in the air on the infield, shallow infield. The right fielder's going to have to come in and almost all the way into the dirt area to make the play, but he does make the play for out number 1. We go back to the Caden Black steps in for the Wildcats. Caden walked on 4 pitches back in the first inning, scored the first run of the game for the Wildcats. Righty versus lefty. That pitch is outside a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Beautiful day here. The good thing about it is cool, but it is not windy as it was yesterday. I mean, it was just windy yesterday. Cold. 1-0 pitch to Caden is a called strike. Down the middle, right at about thigh level, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Actually, 1 out. Noah popped out to right field, shallow right field, more like the infield, but it's a pitch to Caden, bounced about a foot or so in front of the plate, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Caden steps back in once again. 2 balls, 1 strike to him. The pitch, that's high and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. I want to remind everybody, Saturday is the makeup ball game for the Clinton ball game. That'll be at Clinton. Pitch is ball 4, so for the second time in the ball game, Caden Black walks, and he's a base runner with 1 out here in the second. Mikey Teasley will step in for the Wildcats now. Mikey was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first inning. The Wildcats put 4 on the board Basically, Butler really had some control issues, obviously. We walked 3 guys. The big hit, though, as I mentioned, was Parker Free had a bases loaded doubles. Caden's going, and here's the throw down. It's stolen base for Caden Black. So he has his second stolen base of the ball game. And he's in scoring position now with 1 out and a 1-ball, no strike count on Mikey Teasley. Pitch to the plate, high and inside. Almost hit him again. Was hit the first time he batted. That time backed him away, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Mikey stands in, a little bit more tentative as maybe a half step back in the box. The pitch to him is hit in the air, foul. Off to the third base side and out of play, and the count is 2-1. Mikey stands back in. 2 balls, 1 strike. Runner at second. That's Caden Black. He walked. We'll move the camera at some point. I'll try to do that. It's hard to do both. TJ's working hard. That pitch is down low, a ball. And the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. Junior varsity Wildcats filing in to Karns High School. They'll play afterwards. Mikey stands in once again. Right-handed hitter. Black takes a good size lead off of second. And the pitch. Down low, that is another walk. He has had some control problems. That is the 5th walk for Butler in the first 2 innings. And looks like that might be the end of today's work for the Karns pitcher. The coach takes the ball, and the Wildcats in a moment will send Peyton Witter to the plate. 4-0 Oak Ridge on top. We'll be back for the Wildcats' Peyton Witter to bat against the new pitcher of the Karns Beavers in a moment. Welcome back once again to Karns High School. Blake Bowers stands in for the new pitcher. He's the new pitcher for Karns. Peyton Witter is the batter for the Wildcats. He walked and scored a run back in the first inning. He rips one to left. That's going to go down, and it's going to clear at least 2 runs in. In the score, run number 5 for the Wildcats will come Caden Black, and strolling into third actually is Mikey Teasley. That's a double by Peyton Witter, so kind of rudely greets the new pitcher Blake Bowers, and the Wildcats have a 6-0 lead here, I believe. Let me make sure I've got it right. Are we going good here? I think we're getting ready to go, and as the Wildcats step in once again, we had a little technical problem getting going here, but we are underway. The Wildcats have scored. I'll let you do the camera work here. And the pitch, you might want to update the scoreboard there. It is 6-0, I believe. Actually, it's at least 5-0 as I look at it. It looks like Caden Black did score. Teasley ended up over at third, so it is 5-0. The Wildcats in the lead, and the batter is Parker Free at a double. Takes the ball low, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. 5-0 Oak Ridge. We apologize. We are a little slow getting our broadcast on. We had a little technical snafu, but we've got it taken care of now. We're in the second inning. I'll recap things here in a moment. That ball is hit foul out of play. Wildcats put 4 on the board in the first inning. They did it. Basically, the pitcher for the Karns Beavers struggled out of the gate. He walked the first guy he faced, Caden Black. He stole second, came around to score, as did Mikey Teasley, who was hit by a pitch. Peyton Witter, and that pitch is a called strike 3, and that is out number 1 here in this second inning. And going back to that, the Wildcats had the bases loaded with Black. Izzy was running well, actually not. Mikey Teasley was on base. Peyton Witter was on base, and Parker Free knocked in 2 of them. And then Cam Welch had an RBI on a ground out. Kai Welch also stepped in, grounded out. And the Wildcats scored 4 runs in that inning. And now have scored a solo run here in the second to take a lead of 5-0. They still have runners